Okay, this is lesson 7, so we're just going to talk through the analysis now. So I've gone through the commentary of the PowerPoint for the lesson. So if we look here, try and avoid CD cases like this one. Although the casing itself is different, on the inside of this one, it still carries a couple of dual cases. So just try and avoid that, otherwise you're going to end up going down the same route of the product that you've already analysed. So we're looking for things like this. You might have a little wallet CD on the side. That would be useful. You might have a limited edition DVD that you could have a look at. I showed this one in the session, so this one used to open up on both sides, so the DVD will come out on that, but it's actually broken here now. This one's actually got a printing effect, so some embossing on the surface. You might have something called a super CD, super jewel case, where it's got these reinforced hinges on the side here. So these are made from more robust, high impact polystyrene, so it might be one of these. You might have something a bit more creative like this one, where you've got a little finger slot so you can push it open. You've got a plastic insert where the CD is held in place. You might have one of these, a digipack. These are often used for singles, excuse me, singles on the side where you've got a predominantly board on the outside and a plastic inner section. Or you might have a traditional DVD case. This is one I'm going to have a look at today. So if we were going to look at function, so we want to know how well does it protect it. So the material that it's made from is much more tougher, which is the correct term for absorbing sudden impacts compared with the polystyrene of the jewel case. So it's made from polypropylene. If we open it up on the inside, the CD is held securely by this little section that you can press and release the DVD, so you're not scraping it on anything. So you can click it back into place. You've got these little finger sections on the side, so you can kind of push it down and then grab the underside of it so that it doesn't move around. You've also got, under function, you can have an insert on here that can be held into place, like a cross cell, a piece of cardboard that goes on here. Maybe it's promoting another film on the section. It's got a hinge. The plastic has been moulded, so it's a hinge mechanism, so it functions, it opens up for you on the side. You can actually change the insert as well. I'll show you how to do that in a second when we look at materials on another video. But you're trying to say how well it protects it, how well does it promote the video as well. So how do I know who's in it? How do I know what it's called? How do I know if I can watch it or not? On the age restrictions as well. Does it tell me something about the film as well on the side? If I flip it over, it might have a synopsis of the film, so that's its function as well. It might have tell me about bonus features. It's got me some stills as well. So there's loads of information on there to do with promotion. You can ignore preserve, inform. They're similar to those comments as well. Package for transportation, they're all standard, so they can stack together as well. If we're looking at aesthetics, we break it down. So we've got a modern font on the top. It was a modern film. It's like a futuristic film as well. But then they've got this modern font on here, but it's in italics as well. So you can see in one case, the italic is going that way. So it's simulating the word back. And on this one, the italic is going the other way, suggesting that we're going forward into the future as well. So this is kind of the brand logo for the film. So you've got the font styles you can talk about, the colours as well. We've got this dark section. It's not a horror movie, but often dark colours often suggest space age or science fiction or technological advance. So this could kind of come from this area. You've also got white around our main character here. So white often represents innocence, purity, naivety. So he kind of gets thrust into the role. It's kind of highlighting the star's film. You've got these kind of flames drawing your attention in as well. We've got the DeLorean, the car, the time machine. That tells us something about the film. And then we've got him in his, the clothing he's wearing. He's looking at his watch, which suggests something about time that's taking place on there. So you can talk about the imagery. Then we've got the style. Is it dynamic, which we're trying to get with the flames going in and the font? Is it clean, minimalistic? So you can make a comment on those. You can talk about the layout as well with the names of the actors on the top. They're both equal pegging, so they're both on the top there. And then we read it down. We've got the name of the product, then we've got the imagery on the side. So you can talk about the arrangement of them. Is it clean, cluttered? Is it easy to understand? Then you've got dimensions. Obviously, we want to dimension this casing. We can also dimension potentially the little finger slots as well, so you can get your fingers into there. So it's something that's different than what you've dimensioned already when you were looking at the jewel case. Scale of production, I mentioned that in the previous video. So really the plastic casing, this bit, is all mass production. It's hugely expensive to make one of these, just a single one, for the cost of the molds. But the insert, this one, we just bend the spine back. The kind of paper solid whiteboard insert, this is more than likely going to be made from this is more likely going to be batch produced, because they'll anticipate how many they're going to sell, and if they're selling really well, or if they win an award, they want to change the packaging and put the logo of the award that they've won on the front of it to try and get you to buy that product. Information, there's loads on here. We've got DTS, my initials on here, have nothing to do with the film, but the initials are to do with the sound quality on there. Then you've got the DVD logo, the A certificate, the main actors, the director in there as well. We've got the writer. We flip over the side over here, you've got other like Universal logos on here. We've got the synopsis, again the barcode, but you may have commented upon that on previous occasions. We've got all the producers in here, so we want to say like, why is that information on there? Obviously you can't do everything, but if you pick 3 or 4 of them, you can get them into the information box on the side. So they're the 4 areas for this particular one. I've got another video where we start to look at the industrial processes, materials, and social, cultural, environmental issues. But the main one is aesthetics, information, dimensions, scale of production, and function. Okay.